Hello, my name is Paulo Diaz, and this is my video response to the film Under the Shadow, directed by Babak Anvari. Now, Under the Shadow is this beautifully tense Persian horror film. On the surface, it's about a mother, Shideh, trying to protect her daughter, Dorsa, from a supernatural force. But the real fear, it's how Shideh's life is slowly crushed by war, patriarchy, and these overwhelming expectations that just won't let up. So let's talk about Shideh. She's smart, determined, and was studying to be a doctor, but her dreams were abruptly halted when the university wouldn't let her return. Not because she lacked the ability, no, it's because she was involved in protests during the revolution. She's being punished for speaking out, and that kind of injustice runs through the entire film. And the world around her, it's relentless. There's this moment when she runs outside with her headscarf, desperately trying to escape the djinn with Dorsa, and just like that, some guy and some other guys immediately shame her. Seriously, life or death, and they're concerned about modesty. The film does a brilliant job of showing how women are constantly being judged and restricted. Even when Shideh is trying to get back home after being rejected by the university, she's stopped at a military checkpoint. It's just constant. Everywhere she turns, whether it's society, the war, or actual checkpoints, she's blocked. And that sense of being trapped, that's where the real tension comes in. Now let's dive into what I think is the most haunting part of the film. And no, it's not just the djinn, though that was pretty spooky. For me, the scariest part is the slow disintegration of Shideh's relationship with Dorsa. Shideh's frustration keeps growing. She doesn't believe Dorsa when she talks about the djinn. She doesn't get why the doll Kimia is so important to her daughter, and she even blames Dorsa for ruining her Jane Fonda exercise tape. And then there's Shideh herself. She's feeling completely alone in all this. Her husband doesn't take her concerns seriously, the neighbors don't believe her, and even when she's attacked by the djinn in her bed, no one listens. It's that isolation, that emotional and mental loneliness that adds another layer of dread. The djinn might be frightening, but that feeling of being left on your own, that's on a whole different level. Now let's get into something called uncanny doubling. It's a concept where the familiar becomes strange, and the film uses it really well. Take the djinn, for example. It often appears cloaked in a chador, which is the full-body veil women wear. In this form, the djinn isn't just a supernatural entity, it symbolizes the societal and religious pressures that suffocate Shideh. The chador, which should be a protective garment, instead becomes something suffocating and terrifying, just like the expectations placed on her. And then there's Kimia, the doll Dorsa clings to and wants. Dolls in horror movies are always unsettling, but here Kimia represents the fragile bond between Shideh and Dorsa. As the doll goes missing and eventually turns up damaged, it almost mirrors their deteriorating relationship. Shideh is trying her best to be a good mother, but the pressure from both the djinn and society makes her feel like she's losing control. Kimia's condition becomes a reflection of that emotional struggle, and as the djinn's presence grows stronger, so do Shideh's fears. The djinn in the chador is a constant reminder of everything she's trying to escape, and everything that's closing in on her. So yeah, Under the Shadow leaves a lasting impression. It's not just about the supernatural. It's about the emotional and psychological struggles that Shideh faces in a society that seems determined to confine her. The film weaves these elements together beautifully, leaving you with so much to think about long after the credits roll. That's why it's such an effective and powerful piece of cinema. Thank you for watching.